This is Nightline.
Tonight, breaking news, the so-called miracle in Toronto. 80 passengers surviving after their plane flips upside down in a horrific crash landing. What we're learning tonight. Plus, the Slender Man horror. A 12-year-old girl stabbed 19 times.
Did you feel bad? I just stabbed one of your best friends.
I thought about it, but then I decided that remorse will get me nowhere. It's easier to live without regrets.
The shocking crime to please a fictional online character.
He could be anywhere from 6 feet to 14 feet tall. He doesn't have a face.
The ringleader, now grown and pleading for release.
It will make the community safer.
The attorney with them from the start. What he tells Nightline about his client's remorse.
Morgan committed one act, not a pattern of acts.
Will they go free? Plus, living apart together. From Gwyneth Paltrow to Cheryl Lee Ralph.
When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon.
Committed couples opening up about the growing trend of living separately.
Living apart together, highly recommend.
We are there for each other in sickness and health and all that stuff, but just we live in two different locations.
Does absence really make the heart grow fonder? And seal in the city, found in the middle of the street. Where it came from and what they did to save the pup. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Ramos. Tonight, authorities combing through the wreckage of the Delta jet out of Minneapolis, crashing at the Toronto airport with 80 people on board.
We're in Toronto. We just landed. Our plane crashed. It's upside down.
Miraculously, everyone survived, though at least 18 were injured, including a child. Passengers were suspended upside down by their seatbelts after the plane flipped, some recording what they saw as they escaped, while firefighters raced to hose down the smoking fuselage. A full investigation is underway. We shift gears now on this Monday night and revisit the attack that captivated the nation more than a decade ago. A 12-year-old girl stabbed 19 times, barely surviving the attack. Shockingly, her own friends were to blame, saying they did it to impress a fictional online character known as Slender Man. One of those responsible, now 22 years old, recently granted the chance for release from a mental hospital. 22-year-old Morgan Geyser appearing in a Wisconsin courtroom. A far cry from the 12-year-old who admitted to a heinous act, stabbing someone they called a friend when they were both just 12 years old.
As you look at Ms. Geyser sitting here in court as an individual, whether she still presents that same risk today. She doesn't.
Morgan's attorney pleading for his client's release after being held at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute for the brutal attack that's gripped the nation for more than a decade.
When you have two 12-year-old girls luring another friend out into the woods to stab her on behalf of a mythical figure named Slender Man, it's going to be everywhere. And it was.
Now to that shocking story out of Wisconsin.
The brutal stabbing of a 12-year-old girl.
The girl told police she was with two other girls she knew.
The victim's friend left her to die.
In 2014, Morgan's friend, Peyton Leitner, stabbed 19 times.
Do you feel like you're a survivor?
Yeah, I shouldn't be alive. I really shouldn't after what happened.
Another friend there too, Anissa Wire, who, like Morgan, would also be confined to that same mental health institute. Anissa was granted supervised release after nearly 4 years.
Who's Slender Man?
He's this tall, faceless man who preys on children.
I was hired by the defense to evaluate Morgan. I don't think she was deviously planning. I think she was feeling controlled by Slender Man. What she would tell me is that she really had no choice but to listen to Slender Man.
The brutal, premeditated attack, they say, was done to please the fictional online character Slender Man, who the kids hoped to meet at an imaginary mansion in the woods.
He could be anywhere from 6 feet to 14 feet tall. He doesn't have a face.
Did you feel bad? I just stabbed one of your best friends.
I thought about it, but then I decided that remorse will get me nowhere. It's easier to live without regrets.
Is the now grown adult behind those words truly reformed?
or still a risk to society?
In a case like this, when someone's found not guilty by reason of mental defect, the question isn't whether Morgan will be released. The question becomes when.
It was May 2014 when the saga began in Waukesha, a suburb of Milwaukee. The three tweens had found friendship with one another.
Go back 5 years ago to 12-year-old Peyton. How would you describe her?
Hopeful, positive, an animal lover. I saw the good in people.
Looking back, Anissa was never really invited to a lot of birthday parties or anything. I don't think she really made friends that easy.
Morgan did endure a lot of bullying, especially in the 6th grade by the other students. In the last year, she started to become moodier and a little bit more reclusive.
They knew what each other had gone through, and they were going to be there for each other.
3 12-year-old girls had a sleepover. Happens all over the country all the time, but this one ended a little different.
911. Movement and transfer over a caller on Big Bend. Came upon a 12-year-old female. She appears to be stabbed.
She appears to be what?
Stabbed.
Stabbed?
Correct.
Do you remember what you said to them?
I trusted you, and then they told me to lay down. You'll lose blood slower. Like, we're gonna go get help.
My colleague, 2020 co-anchor David Muir, spoke to Peyton in 2019 in her only interview. He first met her and her parents just months after the attack.
We just knew that Peyton told us Morgan stabbed her, and the police hadn't been able to find the girls.
And in fact, police believe those girls were walking.
Yeah.
They were going to find a mansion.
They believed that there was a mansion there that Slender Man lived in.
Police say they were hoping to impress Slender Man with their actions.
Slender Man was originally created as sort of fan fiction and an extension of the campfire horror story. These images that were unclear whether they were nurturing or threatening.
After being brutally stabbed, Peyton managed to crawl out of those woods. Nearly 5 hours later, the 2 other preteens were found and taken into custody.
She was my only friend for a long time.
Why would you hurt your only friend?
It was necessary. It was weird. I felt no remorse. I thought I would.
It was weird that you didn't feel remorse?
I actually felt nothing.
Was it hard for you to wrap your head around what had been done to you?
No, which I guess says a lot about our friendship. I kind of wasn't really too shocked about it. After I heard why she did it, I was like, well, this doesn't surprise me at all, because she believed so hard in this thing that she would do anything for it.
When I first entered Morgan's bedroom, it just looked like a normal room for a girl of her age. But in her drawers and in the closet, there were numerous items that were disturbing in nature.
They found all kinds of strange things going on. There's strange drawings, dolls that had been mutilated.
Experts testified that Morgan had been diagnosed with early onset schizophrenia. Anissa separately was diagnosed with shared psychotic disorder.
I just want to let Ella and her family know I'm sorry. I never meant this to happen.
I think Morgan's mental health state at the time of the stabbing was obviously, she was in a bad state. We could see that obviously from all the doctor reports that were done back then.
Both Morgan and Anissa ultimately found not guilty by reason of a mental disease or defect. Authorities said Morgan was the ringleader and the one that had done the stabbing. She was committed to 40 years in a mental health institute. Anissa committed to 25 years.
It is very rare to be found not guilty by reason of mental defect. But when someone does, it means that that person was so psychologically incapable that they can't even be held responsible for a crime.
I know that nothing I say is going to make this right, Your Honor, and nothing I say is going to fix what I broke. I'm never going to let this happen again, and I'm sorry.
Anissa would be released in 2021, while Morgan continued at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute.
Morgan received a lot of treatment at Winnebago, specifically individual therapy, group therapy, and medication, really a combination of the three.
Anthony Cotton has represented Morgan since the start of the case. Morgan now identifies as a transgender man.
Morgan's certainly up there in terms of having a positive outlook and a positive attitude for the future.
At the hearing, Cotton called 3 doctors to testify on Morgan's well-being.
She has improved coping skills for managing stress.
But specifically, I don't believe that she currently poses a significant risk.
Essentially that she has had multiple opportunities to be in the community and has done very well.
All agreeing that the 22-year-old is fit to be released. Peyton's family disagreeing, releasing this statement ahead of court, saying Morgan Geyser has withdrawn her request to be released twice. More recently, her request was denied. We are confident that the judicial system will make a decision that will ensure the community and my daughter remain safe. Prosecutors arguing Morgan's credibility remains an issue.
That you should find there's clear and convincing evidence of substantial risk.
The judge ruling in favor of Morgan's early release, saying while their crime was terrible, Morgan has now grown up.
Ms. Geyser does not pose a significant risk of bodily harm to herself or others, or of serious property damage. Now, when I make that finding, I take into account the dangerousness of what happened back in 2014.
Morgan has talked about wanting to be a librarian, wanting to continue publishing her writings, wanting to be in the art field.
Despite what happened all those years ago, Cotton believes Geyser has shown remorse.
Morgan would be the first person to say it. It's unbelievable. You don't even want to discuss it, how bad it was. But Morgan committed one act, not a pattern of acts.
The judge ordered the state to come up with a plan for Morgan's supervised release.
This is not a case where Morgan will just be able to walk free and go on with life. It means that Morgan is going to have to abide by and adhere to certain requirements.
Morgan Geyser is due back in court on March 3rd for a hearing. When we come back, committed couples, including A-list stars, choosing to sleep or even live separately. Why some say it makes their relationship even stronger. Welcome back. You're about to meet some couples who take independence to a whole new level. In separate bedrooms, in separate homes, and sometimes even in different states. They say absence really does make the heart grow fonder. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim with another look.
Actors Sarah Paulson and Holland Taylor are doing it. So are Sheryl Lee Ralph and her husband, Pennsylvania State Senator Vincent Hughes. Even Gwyneth Paltrow and her producer husband, Brad Falchuk, did it for a year after tying the knot. All 3 couples in fully committed relationships, but living in separate homes intentionally. Sheryl Lee Ralph explaining to People.
He has his own life. I have my own life. We also live in separate places. When I go to see him, love to see him. When it's time to leave, bye-bye, see you soon. I'm telling you, life is good.
Living apart together, highly recommend.
Videos for living apart together getting millions of views on social media.
Some people think it's bizarre, but it works great for us.
Fans say it's the best of both worlds. Companionship when you want it, alone time when you don't.
People these days are looking for relationships that work for their lives. They want something that allows them to be who they are. Living apart together allows couples to maintain their autonomy and independence within the context of a long-term committed relationship.
And it's not just a Hollywood movement. The Census Bureau says that in 2023, nearly 4 million Americans were living apart from their spouses. Mandy and Cody Kreidel, both 41, live 360 miles apart. Married since 2021, they see each other once a week.
So I live in Anchorage, Alaska, and she lives in Fairbanks, and that's been our living arrangement for the entirety of our relationship.
Sometimes we'll go 2 weeks, but for the most part, we try really hard to see each other every weekend. Sometimes during the week, I'll just fly down for dinner and we'll go on a quick date and I'll hop on the plane to get back for work the next day.
Mandy says even if they lived in the same city, she'd still prefer to live apart.
Right now, we're thinking there's a good chance that we'll keep maintaining 2 separate houses and then just get together on a very regular basis. It's like, wow, this isn't what we expected, but it's pretty great.
Experts say living together separately isn't for everyone.
We have a sense of what it means to be married or even to live with somebody, but it's less clear what it means when you're living apart together. What does it mean to be in that kind of relationship?
Filmmaker Sharon Hyman says she understands living a 15-minute drive away from her husband, David.
We're about to celebrate our 26th anniversary of living happily ever apart.
Even founding a Facebook advocacy group for like-minded couples called A Partners.
It's a committed lifetime relationship. And just as any other relationship, we are there for each other in, sickness and health and rich and poor and all that stuff. But just we live in 2 different locations.
Another together but apart trend, the so-called sleep divorce, where couples choose to sleep in separate beds. The hashtag garnering millions of views and likes in TikTok posts. Even married movie star Cameron Diaz trying to destigmatize the issue of sleeping separately on the Lipstick on the Rim podcast.
You guys, by the way, we should normalize like separate bedrooms.
Thank you. I think it's still a little taboo to talk about sleeping in separate rooms or in separate beds because we have this idea that if couples are not sharing a bedroom, that there must be something terribly wrong with their relationship.
30, 40, 50 years ago, people were worried about couples deciding to live together outside of marriage. And now what we're seeing is that many couples aren't even interested in living together. And it shows that as a society, we are way more accepting these days of couples defining relationships in ways that fit them best as individuals.
As for Sharon, she says living apart from her husband has only made their relationship and their lives better.
It gives you an opportunity to find what's meaningful for you in your life while at the same time be very committed to another person. And in my case, it's absolutely the best of both worlds.
Well, if it works, keep doing it. Our thanks to Eva. When we come back, the captivating rescue of a seal in the city. Finally tonight, an unexpected sight in a Connecticut city. A young seal somehow finding its way to downtown New Haven. Authorities rescuing the pup believed to be 5 or 6 weeks old and a little underweight. Officials think it fled the nearby Long Island Sound and other seals. It was taken to Mystic Aquarium, where it's on the mend before a planned return to the wild. Glad to see the pup is safe. That's Nightline. You can watch all of our full episodes on Hulu. We'll see you right back here at the same time tomorrow. Thanks for staying up with us. Good night, America.